So we'll get started in just 1 or 2 minutes. Again, thank you all for being on time. We're so excited to kick off this season with you. We can use the chat when we get into the presentation. Please ask your questions via the Q&A. So if you're looking at the icons on the bottom, you see the more with the circle with the 3 dots. There's a Q&A section where you can ask your questions, and the staff will be answering as we go. We'll also, if we see them in time, can answer the questions live if they make sense with the slide, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end as well. Oh, Q&A is at the top for Amanda. So it could be anywhere, guys. You've been warned.
Apologies, Jeremy. Are you still seeing my shared screen? Because my Zoom quit because technology is fun.
No, I just see a grid of very, very excited and anxious and eager runners. I love it.
Okay, I got you now. All right.
Perfect. Okay, welcome. Hard to believe, but we're actually kicking off the 2024 TCS New York City Marathon season. We can go to the next slide, Ashley. My name is Jeremy. I'm the director of the Team for Kids. And every year I always start out with a big thank you. You didn't have to choose to go with the charity. Maybe you did if you couldn't get in via a different entry method, but you still didn't have to do it. The impact that this group specifically has on New York road runners is immense. Basically, we don't have youth and community programs without the fundraising that this team is going to raise over the next few months. We don't have kids being active. We don't have outlets for our seniors to have a community and be social and be active. We don't have inclusive open runs around the city. We don't have a lot of what we're able to offer to youth and community across the country for free. If you guys aren't doing this fundraising, so a huge, huge, huge thank you right from the start. We're going to say it early, we're going to say it often, but please know when it gets hard and you get frustrated that what you're doing helps so many kids and so many families and so many communities across the country. So a huge, huge emphasis on welcome, but emphasis on thank you. Thank you. We'll go to the next slide. So like I said, my name's Jeremy. I'm the director of the Team for Kids program. I've been with New York Road Runners for 9 years. I'm going to ask Lindsay, Ashley, and David to hop on. I will introduce Irene. Irene's not actually on the call tonight. She will be starting with us full-time in 2 weeks. She is the world's best intern turned full-time employee. So we're so excited for her to be joining us on the team. So you will all hear from Irene. Her role is to support you guys with your fundraising efforts. But I'll let Lindsay, Ashley, and David introduce themselves.
Hi, I can go first. I'm Lindsay. I am the registration and runner support specialist. I have been with New York Road Runners for a little over 7 years, but with Team for Kids for just a little over a year. So super excited to get started this season.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I've been with Team for Kids on and off since 2016. This will be my 6th marathon season. It's been so long I lose count, and I just love working with Team for Kids, and then I came back. I'm going to pass it on to David.
Hi everyone, I'm David. I am the Team for Kids operations coordinator. I've been with the Team for Kids for about 3 years now. This is my 4th marathon. I myself am an avid runner. I speak everything from running from the runner's perspective. And from my job, I do a little bit of a lot of things, from helping you register to setting up your fundraising page to troubleshooting any issues along the way. So we're just here to help out, and we're here to have a great season.
Yeah, so this is the team. So when we say, if you ever have any questions, contact us at team4kids@myrr.org. That email that's right there. That's us. It's coming to us. There's no AI involved. It's truly going to be coming, a response will be coming from Lindsay, David, Ashley, Irene, or Jeremy. So we hope to get to know you over the course of the season, but honestly, if you have to hop off right now, you've already heard the single most important thing I'm going to tell you tonight, which is if you have a question, just email us at team4kids@nyrr.org. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Please know, people have tried. I've answered many, many questions. The only bad question is one that you don't answer or you don't ask, because you are doing too much training for these months and fundraising over the next several months. You're putting too much work into this to go into race day feeling unprepared. If you could just ask a question, be it about gear or transportation or hotels or anything that you may think is silly, just do it. We want you to be as comfortable as possible going into race day. And we're here, and you're going to meet a ton more people tonight who are here to support you along the way. So Ashley, we can go to the next slide. So we're just going to start with a bit of an overview of the season. So we're going to be kicking off on the 18th in June, and then we'll have our first in-person practice the 22nd. So that Saturday will be our first in-person practice. So the training season is going to begin, and hopefully you are also beginning your fundraising season. I feel like if you're new to fundraising, my number one piece of advice is don't wait. Rip off the Band-Aid. Every time you ask, it gets easier. So if you're nervous, ask somebody who loves you very much. Start with an easy ask and keep going. We don't want you panicked in September and October because you haven't started yet. You have a long runway to November. So I definitely recommend get going right away. July, we actually have something that's pretty new and exciting. So one thing that the runners may or may not know is that as a TFK runner, you get a secret perk. And the perk is none of our runners get placed in wave 5 on marathon day. So for the marathon, there are 5 waves. TFK is only placed in waves 1, 2, 3, and 4. So even if your time, your best pace would put you in wave 5, you are all getting bumped up. So basically we take the whole team and we split you into 4 equal groups and put you into the first 4 waves. So most of you will be bumped 1 wave. It's possible for some people to actually be bumped up 2 waves. So that just gives you an earlier start and more time, specifically more daylight time on the course. It complicates things for transportation a little bit for us because transportation options are really good. Oh, sorry. I have a 4-year-old trying to break into the room. It's pretty intense. It complicates transportation because when baggage and transportation opens in August, you only see the options that correlate to the wave that your best pace would put you in. I'm getting very, very technical. I promise I'll get to a very easy point. So in order to make sure all of you just get the right transportation, we are going to actually open early with a new TFK transportation selection launch in July. You are going to get so much more information about this. So if this is something that's already making you worried, don't worry about it. We promise that in July, we are going to explain it to you so much that you could teach a seminar on it. But what's cool about this is not only are you getting the perk about getting bumped up, you're also getting kind of early access to make your transportation selections. Some of these things fill very fast. So you're going to get first crack at picking your transportation selection. So really exciting. That's going to happen next month. The only thing you need to do now to prepare for it is make sure you are fully registered for the race. So Team for Kids has a 2-part registration system. So you have all signed up with runwithtfk.org on our website. Then you were sent an invitation code. You need to use that invitation code on nyrr.org to complete your registration in New York City or New York Roadrunner system. So you're not registered to the race until you take that final step. And if you're not fully registered, you can't make any transportation selections. So don't worry about the transportation. We're going to have webinars, we're going to have emails, we're going to have lots of resources for you next month. This month, your number one priority is to complete your registration. If you don't know if you're registered or you don't know what I'm talking about, your number one priority is just send an email to teamforkids@nyrr.org, and all of the lovely people you just met will help you figure that out. Okay. that's the most exciting thing happening on our end. So then we head into August. We're going to have the training series, the 10-mile and the 12-mile. If you guys are local or you guys are looking to take a trip to New York City, our runners do get complimentary entries to those races. I believe a survey was shared, and it will send it out again in one of our coming weekly emails to sign up for one of those entries. And then the rest of the baggage and expo time slots will open. Again, this is a lot of details, and if you're so new that it doesn't mean anything to you or it's overwhelming, don't worry. We are going to be sending you weekly communications, helping you prioritize. So you don't have to worry about all of this at once, but you are going to get a full picture of where we're headed. September is really just kind of a month we all have to grind through, right? You gotta do a lot of your heavy training in September. A lot of people have a lot of fundraising to do in September. We're getting to our October fundraising deadline on the 9th. But then after that, we get to all the fun stuff. So this year on October 31st, we have our final in-town TFK practice. So if you are traveling to New York City for the event, just putting it on your radar, TFK does have the final in-person practice the Wednesday before the marathon. So October 31st.
And it was killing me.
This
I was
is
like,
one of our largest practices. So this is a really good one if you want to come and meet the mentors and meet the team and just kind of have a special experience with everyone as we head into race week, and your schedule's flexible enough that you can be here by Wednesday. We encourage you all to join us that practice. And then we're in November. So in November, it's basically race week. You'll all be attending the TCS New York City Marathon Expo, where you're going to be picking up your bibs. One thing I'll tell you now, there is no proxy pickup. You physically must be at the expo to get your bib. There's no race day pickup. There's no anything pickup outside those hours. So if you are traveling to New York City, you're going to want to make sure you're here for the expo. If you're booking your flights, just, look at those hours. It's the Wednesday or the Thursday, Friday, Saturday before the race are the 3 days of the expo. Make sure you're here to pick up your bib. It's got to be you, and it's got to be at the expo. On November 2nd, we have our TFK breakfast. So this is a really exciting TFK only event. It's Saturday before the race, and it's part pep rally, part celebration, part pep talk for all of you, as we all have breakfast together at the Marathon Pavilion the day before the race. And then it's race day. Race day is going to be awesome. We're so excited. We've been planning and working since last year's race day on this year's race. So we're really excited to celebrate with all of you at the finish line. And then if you don't know, the New York City Marathon has another celebration marathon Monday at the pavilion for you to engrave your medal and get your finisher's gear and get your
they have medal engravement, but I'm
so lots of good stuff. We wanted to make sure you have an overview of the full season, but don't let that overwhelm you, because we're going to be taking it one mile at a time, 1 month at a time, getting everybody to November 3rd. Okay, now I'm going to pass it off, I think, to David, who's going to take the next slide.
All right. Second. Okay. We're about 15 minutes in, and on one slide, Jeremy just gave you guys a lot of information. I can tell there's a lot of questions already. If you didn't write those dates down, don't worry about it. There's no quiz at the end. We're pretty good on sending reminders and sending updates as best we can. We're going to take a break on slides and dates, and here's just a nice recap of last year's race, I believe, with some of our coaches on the course. I'm just going to go over some of the resources that we do provide to you guys. Running a marathon is tough. Running a world major is tough. Just coming to the city of New York is tough. And for a lot of you guys on this call, you're doing all three for the first time ever. So everyone on this call, our staff, our job is to make your journey as easy and smooth as possible. So with that, we do just want to go over the overall outline of how all of you got here. You guys all have guaranteed entry to this year's race as a charity participant. As Jeremy touched on, that's about a 3-step process. You completed step 1, which is signing up with Team for Kids. Step 2 is the race registration, which a good chunk, but not quite everyone has taken care of. And step 3 is the fundraising completion. which will be due in October. Believe it or not, many have also completed that as well. Some others have not yet started, but there's plenty of time. Throughout the season, we'll be sending a lot of reminders via email. So these will be both to ensure everyone is registered for the race to participate. Again, that'll be through your New York Roadrunners account. For those familiar with the New York City races, that's easier to explain. Again, for a lot of our runners who are not in New York City, it could be a little bit tricky. We'll do our best to get you guys registered so you have all the important information and you have the ability to make all the choices that we went over in the previous slides. That'll make more sense along the season once you get those regular updates. In addition to the registration reminders, we'll also have our fundraising reminders. In our weekly emails, we'll give you fundraising tips, and periodically we'll also send out important reminders to everyone with just a reminder of where they are in their fundraising journey, with us also some of our best shared tips that we've had from more experienced fundraisers throughout the year. Okay, this is further along down the season, we'll also have some fundraising. We also have many fundraising resources. A lot of those will be sort of passive, where you can access them in your Roadrunners, in your Team for Kids account, and a lot of them will be more active, where we'll have webinars that you can join in. You can also send us questions at any time to the same email we shared earlier in the slide. Basically, if you have any question related to anything, the email to contact is teamforkids@nyrr.org. It is one of the people on this call answering you. We will do our best to get back to you as soon as we can. Okay, move to the next slide. And as I touched on, every week, every Sunday morning, we'll be sending out our weekly emails. These will be your kind of one-stop shop for the week ahead and maybe for the month ahead. It'll have important deadlines as they come up, making sure you're registered, making sure you're aware of your fundraising deadlines, making sure you're aware of any like key action items that you need to actually check in and do something before you run out or you miss the deadline and you end up not knowing where you're going on race morning. These emails will cover important updates from our program and important updates from New York Roadrunners throughout the season. It'll have an impact story connecting you to where your funds are going. So a lot of you may not be in the New York City area. You get a closer sense of what you're helping to support. For those in the New York City area, if you've ever been to a New York Roadrunners race, there's almost always a free youth event, which is in part supported by the funds that everyone on this call is helping to raise. Also included in these weekly emails are our weekly strength training videos. And then we'll also outline our practices for the upcoming week. More broadly, our practices are held on Wednesday evening and Saturday mornings. Every week, we'll specifically outline the start times and locations. For the most part, they will meet by Central Park, but occasionally we'll meet outside in other locations in the city. We can run parts of the course, but always be sure to check those emails if you are attending practice in person. Otherwise, you may be at the run center asking, where is everyone? For those who are not in the New York City area, those workouts will be designed to work in sync with our virtual training app, which we'll be touching on a little bit later. So don't worry about not getting the full experience. We do our best to provide quality training and coaching for all of our runners, whether or not they're in the New York City area. Also included in all of our weekly emails are a lot of ways you can ask for help. So these will be individual fundraising consultations. If you have any specific questions that maybe aren't covered in any of the resources we have, or you have any specific concerns that you just maybe feel comfortable speaking to someone over the phone with in person or over the phone with, we can ask for an individual consultation. You can ask for the status of a matching gift. Matching gifts are a great way to help boost your fundraising, but it is a very complicated process. So we also have a form where you can just check in the status of something that you submitted quite a while ago or how to get started. We also have resources to connect with our TFK mentors. Our mentors are veteran TFK alumni who have fundraised and raced or participated in this event before. They are not only familiar with the logistics of running this event, but the logistics and sort of lifeline of becoming an active TFK member. So those are a great resource in addition to all the help that we have. And again, our mentors are both in person, and for those who are not in the New York City area, we do have mentors around the country and a couple overseas actually. So those are a great resource to help connect with, typically electronically, or if it's reasonable and you're in sort of a physically close area, you can help connect outside the New York City area. Okay. And these emails, again, these are sent every Sunday at 9 a.m. So do be sure to check those weekly emails. They usually cover a lot. If there's something you're missing or there's something that you're not sure about, you can always, again, contact us at teamforkids@nyrr.org, and we'll be able to help you out. And with that, I will turn it over to
Me. Hi,
Ashley.
guys. So I'm going to go over, I apologize, I have to shush the cat away as he's trying to join our meeting. We will be having a series of clinics to help you guys get ready for race day throughout the summer. The first one we're going to be having, we're very excited about. It's new this year. We're having a matching gift webinar. I'm super excited. Matching gifts are a really great way for all of our runners who are fundraising to maximize their donors' donations if their donors' companies have a matching gift program. And there's a lot of complicated things about it. You may even say, what even are matching gifts? Stay tuned to your email for an invitation to a Zoom link, and I'll be explaining all about it and what it is and how you can use this and how we can help you also figure out how to get these matching gifts into your fundraising. So we'll have an injury prevention clinic on July 15th. We'll also be having a nutrition clinic on July 29th. In mid to late August, we'll be having a marathon gear clinic with someone from New Balance. And August 15th, we'll be having our famous fundraising clinic featuring Drew Swiss. That is more of an overall fundraising clinic, especially as we get closer to the fundraising deadline in October, but halfway point through the summer. And then in September, we'll be having a coaches panel. It's kind of a check-in with our coaches, get some advice from them. And we're super excited about all of our clinics that we have this year. Fundraising support. Also new this year, aside from the match and gift webinar, is we're going to be having fundraising office hours starting in July. Once a month, we'll be giving you guys the details about it, but in the weekly emails. But we'll be having open office hours with the TFK staff and some of our mentors to give some great advice, troubleshoot any quick questions, give some tips, give some tricks, and answer any questions that you may have. As David mentioned in the weekly email, there is a individual fundraising consultation button on the bottom. It's not on the slide also, but there is a matching gift inquiry form that he mentioned before. If you're not sure that where a matching gift that you know someone submitted is, fill out that form. If you write in via email, we'll also give you a link to fill out that form. It's going to be a great way for us to be able to keep track of your guys' questions about your matching gifts and for us to get you the information when we have it available to us. The matching gift webinar, as I mentioned, is on June 27th and the fundraising clinics on September 5th. We are here to help you with any questions you have about fundraising. All of us have been here for several years. We've seen every question. We've seen a ton of tactics, and we're more than happy to share. And what you can do is, I've just handed in a QR code. You can start sending it for the matching gift webinar here. I'll give you guys a second. If you want to take a little photo of it on your phone, go to that website, go to the Zoom registration, and sign up. If you don't get a chance to do it in this call, do not worry. We will be sending it to you via email, the link to register for it. So this is not your only opportunity. Which brings us to our next topic, Team for Kids Mentors. David already touched on it, but mentors are a fantastic asset for fundraising support, race week support, and just general, I'm not sure what I'm doing. You know, it's my first time being in New York City, running a marathon. It's my 10th time running, but I've never run in New York City. Our mentors are fantastic, fantastic alumni, both in New York City and abroad, and throughout and across the country that have volunteered to help all of our runners, as many that can sign up for a mentee. They can stay in contact with you via email, phone, however is more convenient for you. And they're there for you to help you throughout your fundraising and training journey. We will have, on the next slide, is a QR code to request a mentor. And as David mentioned before, something that we started last year and we're really excited to have at the beginning of the season is Out of Town Mentor Connect. So if you take a look at the QR code on the right. We have mentors that are across the country, and we have more mentors that are signing up that'll be added to the map every week they have listed their information. You can reach out to them. Some of them may want to start running groups or TFK, social or what have you. But we really want you guys to be able to be connected with runners in your area or even remotely, because we know that running is a journey, but it doesn't have to be a solo journey. It can be a team journey for all of us, and we're happy to help you connect that way. Lindsay, I believe this is you.
It is indeed. All right. First, I just want to flag, if anyone is not looking at the Q&A, you definitely should. People are asking great questions in there. So definitely take a look at that because they're asking some really in-depth things that you might be interested in. Okay, so training. One of the TFK perks is that we provide training for all of our runners. So new this year, if you've run with us in the past, we are transitioning to a new virtual training platform called Runna. So NYRR and Runna have a new program. We will be sending out information next week with instructions on how you can sign up for that. So definitely keep an eye out on that and we'll get you guys going. We're also going to have a Facebook training group. So you guys can join that. That'll have not only training information, but information on everything. You can ask questions there. You can connect with other TFK runners in your area. If you want to find out if there's anybody that lives near you that wants to go out for a run, definitely check out the Facebook group. You can scan the QR code there and you can join. We will have virtual strength training sessions. That'll be included in the weekly emails that David talked about. So there will be a YouTube link in the email for your weekly strength training. So definitely check that out because we love a strong runner. David already touched on the weekly emails, so I won't go into that too much more, but that will have all of the information about the virtual strength training and the in-person practice. So our in-person practices will most often take place at the NYRR Run Center in Manhattan. They will be on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 7 a.m. So anyone that's run with us in the past, that 7 a.m. time is new. We just want to get you guys out there earlier before it's crazy hot. And also then you just have more time to go to brunch after. And then what else do I have to say? Oh, just a note, when you are at the Run Center for practice, just keep in mind that the Run Center is open to the public. So we just want to make sure that we're being respectful of anyone that's not TFK because we are quite a big group. So we will have lockers available at the Run Center for any practices that are leaving from there. So definitely you can stop by, drop off your bag. But we just want to make sure that we're not like congregating in a huge group that's blocking everything. So yeah, just keep that in mind as we're going. But lots more information to come on the training. Make sure you're checking out, like David said, those weekly emails because there will be some practices on the weekends that will meet in other locations if we're running any parts of the course. So just make sure that you're the most up to date on all of the information for that week.
Lindsay, we do have a couple of questions about Runna just before we move on to the next slide. And that is Runna similar to Run Coach?
It is. I don't know. I think Ben is on the call. If Ben wants to talk a little bit more about that, not to put you on the spot, Coach Ben. But
thanks, Lindsay. I appreciate
it
that.
is similar.
I appreciate
But Ben knows more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a virtual training program where you'll have access to a personalized training plan. So you'll put information based off of where your current fitness level is. Don't necessarily put information where you want to be going because that's what the train's going to achieve. It's actually a fantastic tool. I've been using it a little bit. I used it this spring to train for a race of my own, so I know how effective it can be. I will say, just be honest with yourself when you're putting information on where you are. Because it will give you a training plan that will get you ready to where you want to be. Just be prepared for that. Reach out. There is coaches on those platforms that are through Runna, so you can have them adjust your plan, ask questions on the plan. They have a lot of resources on that platform as well, but more information to come. But yeah, for all of you out there, definitely check it out. See if it fits into what you're going for. And obviously, if you're going to be coming to our in-person practices, we'll answer questions, and we'll get you fit as well. Back to you, Lindsay.
Awesome. And then someone also just asked in the Q&A, which is a great question. All TFK runners for the 2024 TCS New York City Marathon will receive complimentary access to Runna. So keep an eye out. If you see anything from New York Roadrunners about Runna, don't sign up for it and pay. Just wait, and we will be sending you a code so that you can get that complimentary access. That's one of your great perks. I think we can go to the next slide, Ashley. Yay.
Is this for me?
This is for you, Ben.
We need to pick up the energy here, folks. I don't know about you. Coaches, where are you? I think I got a few coaches on the call here. Where are you, coaches? We got to give these runners some excitement. They're about to run a marathon in like 21 weeks. Yes, we do keep track here of what we got going on, but I think I've got about 7 or 8 coaches here online. So I think let me see. Sid, are you online? I think I see a picture, or maybe not yet. I think Sid and Stare, you're there to introduce yourselves and say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
I think Dorothy, we've already mentioned your name. Dorothy, are you out there?
I'm here.
Oh, you're very active in the Facebook group, correct? So you'll be on there a lot, giving our runners a lot of tips and tricks, right?
Yes, I am very active on Facebook.
Oh, Asteria, you coming off? Asteria, you there to say hi? Technology, it's fantastic. We're here and then we're not. We're coming around. Glenn, where are you, Glenn? You are a OG coach. Glenn, where are you?
Hi there, everyone. Looking forward to meeting you somewhere along this 5-month journey to the finish line.
Asteria, are you there? We'll give Asteria a moment here to see if she can come off mute and say hi, because she is lovely and her and Sid are probably in the same space. Asteria?
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon. A lot of green love for everyone.
I love it.
Did you
We
hear?
got it. We got you. We heard you. Thank you so much, Asteria.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I'm looking here. Rosie, are you actually, where are you? You've been traveling a lot, Rosie. You look most comfortable. Do you have a glass of wine as you sit here outdoors in the beautiful space?
No, I only have a bottle of water. I'm actually in Astoria Park where I was coaching last night with Coach Dorothy. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to new runners, experienced runners. Everyone is welcome. No question is stupid. You will find your spot and you will fit in.
Awesome. Natalie, I see you out there. How's it going, Natalie?
Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm really excited about this new season coming up, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I look forward to meeting some of you at practices and seeing you online on the Facebook group. Have a great season. Enjoy.
Coach Steph, new coach, first time going around with TFK, but been around with other training groups. Coach Steph, you have a friend, Coach Steph, who is a pug.
Yeah, this is my pug, Diego. I'm excited to be training with y'all, and I am actually going to be fundraising for Berlin, so I am going to be in the same boat as y'all. So yeah, I'm excited to meet everybody and to start the season off on the right foot.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. I think I see Coach Jackie out there. Jackie, how you doing?
Hey, Coach Ben. Hi, coaches. Hi, TFK runners. So excited to get to know so many of you and put in the miles, put in the work. You're running for the best cause and the best marathon in the world. So let's get this party started.
I think I got all the coaches. If I have forgotten anybody, you want to come off mute, I'll give it a quick second. But I know we have a lot of coaches that unfortunately we're not able to make our call this evening. But if you're coming and join us in person in South Central Park, we are like 10 days out from our first Saturday run. We're going to kick it all off. Weather looks good. It's going to be hot, but then again, fall marathons equal hot summer training, folks. So get used to it. But I'm sure people who are on this call, maybe in Florida, are already feeling the heat. They're like, cry me a river. It's already 95 down here. We know how it goes, folks. I think we got all the coaches there. There we go. Back to y'all.
Okay.
Jeremy, you're muted.
I know, it makes you click twice and I always get stumped by that. Okay, so I know we've thrown a lot at you and your head is spinning and you're overwhelmed and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what have I signed up for? Don't worry. We are all here to support you, the TFK staff, the coaches, our mentors. We are going to be communicating with you a ton. We're going to try to break it up into really easy steps. You don't have to do everything today. No one's asking you to run 26 miles today. No one's asking you to do anything outside of just be here. So next steps, 2 important next steps. Complete your registration. So again, we have the 2-step registration sign up. You've already signed up on the TFK website. Now you're going to use your invite code to complete your registration, which includes paying the race registration fee on nyrr.org. That will officially register you for the race. You are not registered for the race until you do that. If you are not sure, just email us, teamforkids@nyrr.org, and set up your fundraising page. We have a fundraising resource page that you can get to by going to the event page and just clicking fundraising resources, or just, again, email us early, often, all the time, teamforkids@nyrr.org, and ask us for the link and we'll send it to you. You can personalize your page. Get it set up so you can start collecting your donations. It's there. It just doesn't have your picture on it yet, maybe. Okay, so that is our presentation. We're going to open it up to runner questions. So, whoa, okay, it's happening. If we've paid for race registration with code, does that confirm we're registered? Yes. And Megan, if you want to email us, we can double confirm it. You should be able to log into your nyrr.org profile and see the race in your upcoming races. That's how you will really, really know you're registered for this race. But again, feel free to email us.
Just a common something that runners sometimes see and they makes them think they're registered is if you've entered the drawing and were not accepted and then later came to Team for Kids, you will still see the race in your account, but it will say not accepted. If you see that, also send us an email and we'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, so we have a question about Rana. So Rana, instructions to sign up in Rana will be sent out next week. I think NYRR officially launches NYRR times Rana on the 18th. So we're going to be sending you guys your codes to get you all signed up at that time. We do not have hotel discounts, but if you go to the marathon website, Team for Kids specifically doesn't. There is a travel tab on the marathon website where you can work with our official, I think, hospitality or travel or hotel provider. They have a very official name. So you can see kind of, you can access the blocks that they've already negotiated and see what discounts are there on that page.
Jeremy, someone just asked a really great question about singlets, about double checking the size. We will be sending out emails incrementally throughout the season to remind you guys to check your size. And if there are any problems with it, there's a form to send it in. The easiest way to check to see what size singlet you requested is to log into your TFK profile and you will find that information there. If you need to update, you can update it. If you have moved, please update your address because your singlet will be sent to the email address that you listed as your mailing address. We want to make sure it gets to you. So if you have any questions, as with every other question you might have on this call, email teamforkids@nyrr.org and we'll be able to help you.
I cannot stress this enough. If you've moved or if you're just not sure what address is in there, take a peek. We will mail it to whatever it says there, and there is no way for us to know if you get it or not. So please just double check the form. You can update. We'll be sending the form out. You can update that. Also, the singlets, we have been asked to say are athletic cut. They run very true to size. These singlets are keeping you honest. So just help if you like it a little looser, definitely size up.
2 questions. One, I have to make a correction to something that was on the slide earlier. The Light Up the Night practice is on Wednesday, October 30th. I apologize, it is not on the 31st. It's
But
Wednesday,
still come in
October 30th.
costume.
Yes.
Welcome.
We had Grace Callan asking, who is traveling from Australia and hoping to be there. So it'll be on the 30th. And Ben, if you can answer this one, will the training plan in Runna line up with the types of workouts TFK will be hosting?
Yeah, Runna will have very similar. That will be exactly in line with what we're doing on in person. No, I mean, it could be the occasional time it falls in line. But again, if you're local, if you're local to the New York City area, and you do plan to come to the in-person, we have our quality workouts during the week on Wednesday nights. So you would supplant that what Runna is going to recommend. If you're not going to be coming to our in-person practices, then Runna will be giving you that roadmap that you want. Their quality workouts, I will say, are quality. You will definitely get the work that you need to build your fitness and get you to the start line in Staten Island on November 3rd. But again, any questions in your Runna plan that you may have, reach out to the coaches on Runna. They'll be able to review that information, make adjustments as you need to ensure that you're getting the exact what you need from that and getting the most out of that training.
All right, let's see what other questions we have. For New York City locals, do we just show up at practice or do we have to sign up? You do not have to sign up. You have to show up. The only thing that we ask is that you be on time and you have a smile on your face.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Guys, we'll definitely stay on, keep asking your questions. But if you have to jump, feel free. This has been recorded. We're gonna share it. You are gonna hear from us maybe more than you ever imagined you would. So much more to come, but thank you so much for signing up with us. We are so excited to get to know everybody over the course of the season. And we cannot wait to celebrate with you all in November. And as I said, the only thing you really need to remember today is to email us at teamforkids@nyrr.org, and bonus points if you are just logging off right now to check that you're registered. Ooh, more questions.
Ramon, I'm not sure what you mean by pool list archive of sample fundraising campaigns. But if you do have any questions about how to go about your fundraising, feel free to sign up next week when we send out the first weekly email for an individual fundraising consultation, and I'll be happy to go over that stuff with you.
There's a request in the Q&A for Sid and Asteria to do a dance routine at one of the practices. So Sid and Asteria, I need you to start practicing.
Well, I think we gotta make a fundraising requirement around that.
Ooh.
If it's bad enough, we're gonna have to set a threshold you guys are gonna have to hit.
I love that idea.
For question, a couple asked, where do you see your singlet size? If you can't find it in your profile, just shoot us an email. It's for us, we can see it. We can also edit it if needed. Again, they do run athletic cut, which is the proper term. If you'd like to edit that at any time, just shoot us an email. We'll be able to check it.
Okay.
No questions from the runners?
Well, believe it or not, we've answered 63 questions. You guys have had fantastic questions.
I have one, but I can't write because I'm driving.
Oh,
is that okay?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Is there is there an online training program, like a PDF to print out? That's what I've been looking for, and I'm unable to find it.
I can come off on that one. Yes, we do have on our nyrr.org under training, there is an overview page. On the overview page, we have printable training plans you can do for conservative, moderate, and more advanced, or however hard you want to go. They're PDFs you can download. You can print them out. They'll give you runs and workouts during the week. That way you can kind of have it pinned to your fridge, or if you like have it on your desk, more of a printed version. I don't know, for those of you who are doing Runna, if you can actually print out your training plans through there. It's all done on the app, but I do know that we have our paper training plans up on our website. It's on nyr.org training on the overview page, and you can download them and print them off and put them on your fridge and keep yourself accountable.
Great,
Also,
thanks.
Jessica, if you want to shoot us an email, we can link you directly to that if that's helpful.
Oh,
Okay, perfect. That'd
just be
great.
that
What is
way,
that app
Lindsay.
you were
Fine.
talking about?
Our online
What was
training is going to be through Runna. It's RUNNA. We'll be getting more information in the coming weeks on that. So I would definitely, if you're interested in an online tool and you have a smartphone, you want to use it. I use it myself sometimes. More information coming next week after our announcement in June 18th, I believe.
Ben, we got another question about our training plans by time or distance.
Our in-person training that we do them by time. We do have some areas we do like our distance-based intervals, but those will also be by time. On weekends, we do all of our runs by time. All of you who will be using Runna, they will be giving you miles, but more importantly, they are UK-based, so you'll be seeing kilometers. So everybody out there who likes running by the metric system, congratulations, you'll love this plan. So there will be a difference between those two, but anybody who's coming to our workouts here in person, we do a lot of it more by time. Time on your feet is as advantageous as miles. And also, one of our key things we like to do is keep you all healthy to get you to the starting line in Staten Island, ready to go.
What type of workout will we do on June 22nd, Ben?
Just gonna go to brunch and have a good time.
I'll be there.
Yeah, hey, if you want to show up and have to be honest, our first run is probably going to be about 40 minutes or so of just conversational paced running. For all of you who come in person, you'll hear this a lot. It's actually how we break up our runners into their pace groups, is by conversational pace. People say, hey, I want to run this pace for the marathon. I'm going to go with that group. You don't want to be training at your marathon pace. It's actually not the way to do it. The majority of your running, like over 80%, will be at what's called conversational pace, meaning that you and I could run side by side for an hour, hour and a half, and have a full conversation. That's one thing that we really hone in on. So those weekend long runs, the bulk of them, majority, will be doing a lot of conversational pace. We'll have some pace miles in there as we get closer and closer to a marathon day. But that first practice, expect about 40 minutes of running time. But more importantly, we'll go over a lot of safety deals we have to go through because we're running in our parks and our streets when we have those runs. But more importantly, to meet a lot of your TFK friends and start building that community.
Ben, do we accommodate slower runners?
We accommodate everybody. We really, the weekly email actually is the greatest thing. Coach McCarthy, I think if you're still on, you still here?
I am.
Talk about 13 plus our run walk, how we really accommodate and really try to grow toward all of our runners.
So with the run walk, what we're starting with is a longer intervals. We shorten the walk interval a little bit and add a little bit on the run interval so that we're getting to a faster pace. But it still needs to be conversational pace. So, and also, if you have say your runner says that you should be doing 7 miles and you can do 5 on the time, we would have a thing where you would stack your miles. The next day, you make up whatever the remaining miles are. So it's don't have to worry that you're a slower pace group that you won't get the same training. Everybody be well trained before marathon day.
Awesome. And Natalie, I know you work somewhat in that space as well. I know you work with a lot of people who were training. I think Claudia maybe on the phone. She did Boston this year. So Natalie, do you have anything else to share kind of in that space as well?
Yeah, I think it's just important to make sure that maybe you start in a group at the start of the season and there's flexibility as your fitness improves. And also, we're not going to leave you out there on a run ever. You're always going to have people with you. We're going to be looping back to pick you up. And, you'll develop your fitness, right? So that's what we're here for. It's not about, okay, this is the 12 to 13-minute pace group, so we're all running this pace. We're developing your fitness for you as an individual, even when you're at the in-person practices, right? So it's a joyous process, not a stressful one.
All about the joy.
Lindsay, I have a question for you to answer. It's from Kimberly. She finished her last marathon 25 minutes faster, go you, in May than her last NYC marathon. Can she modify her estimated finish in her MIR dashboard?
Yes, we've been getting this question a couple times, so great, we should talk about it. So if you've already registered and you either have a best pace on file or you entered your projected pace and you now think you're going to be faster, we can update that. We do need official race results from a half or full marathon within the past year. So not a 5K, not a 10K, not a training run on Strava, official race results from a half or full marathon. And the deadline to submit those results is September 1st. So if you don't have that right now, but you're gonna run a half as part of your training at some point over the summer, you can use that and submit it to us. Just make sure it's in by September 1st, because the beginning of September is when we start finalizing everything with people's assignments.
And Ben, we have a couple other questions. Molly asks, how many running days per week is the standard training?
The standard training, I'm not, I mean, how much you're running per week is really depending on where your fitness level is and kind of coming into your training. So I would say probably hit an email over to Team for Kids at nyr.org. Love the email address on the screen so we can kind of get some more information about kind of where you are, because there's no standard. We kind of make sure that where your fitness level is going to be best for what you're doing. If you're going to be using the Run app, that's one of the questions that they will ask you as part of your intake form is how many days a week are you currently running to ensure that you're properly building where you want to go so you're not overdoing it. Like Natalie said, this is a joyous process out there. We want to meet you where you are and get you to where you want to be.
Fantastic. Grace asks a question early in the season. What is the course like and what parts are really difficult? And I want to caveat this before Ben or any of our coaches hop in. Then you guys know I've answered this to a couple of your direct messages to me and in the Q&A. We will be having information sessions, a last chance conference call, especially as we get much later in the season, going over a lot of these things like race logistics or race day logistics, or what the course is going to be like, or transportation, or what it's going to be like at the start. We'll have a lot of programming and information that you guys will be getting throughout the summer. So if you're worried about it now, just know I can guarantee you your question will be answered. But at that point, Ben, how about a quick 3 sentences? If you can answer those 2 questions in 3 sentences, I challenge you.
Give me the question one more time, please.
What is the course like and what parts are really difficult?
The course is awesome. The difficult parts, they could be anywhere, but there's more joyous parts than difficult parts because you're going to have crowds cheering you on the whole way, except when you cross a bridge here or there. But part of it is just embracing this moment because you get to run the TCS New York City Marathon, and you're going to go from Staten Island through 5 boroughs to Manhattan to Central Park, and 55,000 people doing this with you. So you'll have a good time, and we'll get you there.
And you did it in less than 3 sentences. I'm really proud of you, Ben. Any other questions? Wow, we've had 75 questions that we've answered. And if you don't have a question that comes up now, but you have one that comes up, again, email teamforkids@myr.org. If you have any questions about fundraising that come up throughout the season, make sure to stay tuned to your weekly emails to check out those fundraising office hours. Our amazing mentors, I'm sure, will be on the calls as well as our Team for Kids staff. If you are curious about mentors again, we will have links to it in the weekly email every single week to sign up for a mentor. And we're just happy to have you guys. All right. Will Mass is recommended to take nutritional or blood work tests to know your base level. Ben, what do you think is the best way to know your base level as you're starting your training?
What was the question? About base level?
The question was, is it recommended to take nutritional or blood work tests to know your base level? But I think it's more of how do you know what your base level is what I'm gathering from it.
So nutritional or blood work, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, any kind of those questions, you need to go to your doctor because I mean, again, marathon training. If people on this call or coaches will test your body. You want to make sure you're in a good physical space when you begin to do this because you will be asking a lot of your body. Nutrition is a huge part of that. So I would say go speak with a doctor. If this is your first go around with the marathon, this is your first marathon, or maybe even your first distance race. If you've done a half marathon, there's different ways to kind of calculate what your base may be. Again, I will probably recommend you send an email to teamforkids@ny.org so we can kind of get some more info because it's kind of I have some more questions about that kind of stuff. And my coach would probably agree that want to make sure that we give you some good info, but around nutritional and blood work, go see that doctor, make sure all of that stuff lines up before you jump into this feet first. Want to make sure that you're in a good space and that you're going to have a wonderful experience.
Right, and with that, we have not had any more questions, so I'm gonna go back to our very excited runner here, because this is what everyone's gonna look like on race day, and we really are excited for this season. We work here year round, and it is really our favorite time of the year. It is our busy season of the year. It's where we interact with all of you guys the most, and it's really all about getting there at the end of your 26.2 and being proud of what you've done for New York Road Runners and for our youth and community programs, but more importantly, what you've done for yourself. So we're super excited. And again, any questions, email us at teamforkids@myr.org. And here's to a great season.
And thank you guys again so much. We literally would not exist without you. So we truly appreciate you guys. Also, I just looked at our emails and I also appreciate all of you that want us to check your registration status. I'm not joking. That's my favorite question.
If you have any other questions, feel free to hang on. We'll be on for a few more minutes, but if not, if you're in the New York area, we'll hopefully see you soon at our first practice. And if not, don't be a stranger, an email or Facebook or any questions you have. Bye, guys.